Guardians, and welcome back to the channel. And this week we're discussing the TWAB that just came out, and it's discussing perks and several changes to perks. Some I think are going to be really good, and some I'm kind of questioning why Bungie's taking this direction. But we're going to get into all of that. We're going to start at the beginning of the TWAB. At the beginning of the TWAB, they discussed the Lie Quest. We did have a hotfix that had to come out. The Lie Quest was bugged. It has now been fixed, so you can finish the Lie Quest after you get all the shotgun kills. The bunker step was the part that was bugged. The doors would not open up. Now the doors will open. You're able to finish the quest. It's pretty easy after the doors open. It's really just going through there, listening to some really cool dialogue from Rasputin, and then you get the shotgun. It's fully masterworked when you get it. The perk combinations on it are very unique. What you want out of a shotgun, a lot of utility, a lot of choice. I think it's going to replace a lot of people's favorite shotgun, but we'll see going forward. Next, we get into decrypting the future. They talk about last week we did a deep dive on how loot will be evolving season over season with the upcoming addition of max power level to your gear. Players have been asking how acquisition methods will be changing. We have a breakdown from Destiny dev team on how we keeping the items you earn from legendary items and core activities relevant during a given season. All right, so they're going to go through all the different stuff. I think the big thing, and we're going to kind of paraphrase this a little bit, is they're taking world drops and different areas of the game. So Gambit, Crucible, they're pulling it out and putting it into one thing. And so instead of having a bunch of different loot pools, you're going to have this one shared loot pool. Now, I don't know if that means there's also going to be special things that you can earn in the Crucible or Gambit or anywhere else. I don't think so. I think this is going to be where you're going to earn most of the loot, with addition to last season's loot pool. They do talk here how last season's loot pool will be added in to this engram. So right now we're in season 10. If they were doing that now, season 9 would be in this engram. And then they talk about what the world pool for season 11 will consist of the following weapons: Uriel's Gift, Alatha FR4, the Old Fashioned, the Moss Abac, the Hawthorne's Field Forge Shotgun, Last Hope, Timeline's Vertex, Interference 6, Dire Promise, True Prophecy, Geon 7, Enigma's Draw, Distant Tumulus, Escape Velocity, Honor's Edge, 9 Hunger, Arsenic Bite 4B, Main Ingredient, Outrageous Fortune, Truth Teller, Nature of the Beast, Last Perdition, Bad Omens, Night Watch, Toil and Trouble, Wishbringer, Last Dance, Lonesome, Long Shadow, Still Sybil, Z Tech 1-4. And it says if you need any rolls or any current Crucible, Vanguard, Gambit playlist weapons that aren't on that list, you need to go get them now. So if you're eyeing something not on this list that comes from those areas, once again, Vanguard, Crucible, or Gambit, you need to go find the roll you want now and get that in your inventory. Now, just because you're getting that weapon, also you got to remember the sunsetting factor. More than likely, that weapon is up for sunsetting in Season 12, maybe not, depending on when it came out. But it still will be viable in most content, just not in-game content. Lock and reload. All right, so now this is where we're going to get into the perk part of the discussion. And I think it's interesting what they're talking about doing here, but I'm also very concerned that they're about to nerf some perks that I think are really good. And then we're just going to get some other perks that maybe are hopefully good, but I don't know what their plan is with this, so I'm really hoping we get some more data, but let's get into it. Alongside the changes to the world loot pool, we have some changes coming to Destiny 2 Sandbox this week. We will be focused on weapons, specifically perk tuning. Here's a quick breakdown from the team on what to expect. Reload perk updates. We observe that players lean towards picking perks that increase their damage or reduce weapon downtime, and they give some examples: Kill Clip, Outlaw. The damage perks were adjusted quite a while back, but reload perks still don't feel like choices. This tuning pass aims to keep the feeling powerful without being so dominant that no other choice seems viable. So they've already adjusted the damage perks. They're looking to adjust reload perks so that more things seem viable. You don't necessarily get the reload perk you want. Maybe the weapon is still viable. You don't necessarily need it. All right, so then they go into information about what is going on with these stats. A reload stat 0 to 100 and maps onto an archetype specific reload animation speed. Reload duration skill. Most reload perks also apply a small multiplier to the reload animation, so if the reload stat is capped, you will see a small speed bump. Reload empty duration scale as above, but only applies if the magazine is empty. So this is kind of what they're talking about when they're talking about your reload stat and what these perks do. All right, then they give a note here. Note that because most weapons have fairly high reload stats, decreasing a reload stat bonus from 100 plus 100 to plus 50 will still max out the reload stat most of the time, and so doesn't slow down the actual reload as much as it seems. So really they're saying that they're slowing things down, but it's not going to be as noticeable as the numbers kind of look here. The following perks that alter these reload stats are being updated. Outlaw slowed this down a little bit, so they're slowing down Outlaw. Reload stat from plus 100 to plus 50. They kind of gave that example up there in that note as a reference. Reload duration scale from 0.8 to 0.9. Feeding Frenzy. This was strictly better than Outlaw, so we're changing functionality to be based on number of rapid kills. Functionality changed to increase reload speed based on number of rapid kills up to 5. With 2 kills, reload speed is equal to updated Outlaw, which I think is good because, you know, 2 kills is kind of where you're going to be at in the Crucible. So this perk is as viable as Outlaw in the Crucible, but still maybe not as easy to be as viable. You still got to get the 2 kills. Most of the time, you're probably going to get 1 in reload. Or if you're like me, just a habitual reloader, you're going to have a hard time with this perk. I shoot 1 bullet reload. That's just how it is. I don't know how to fix that. I've been that way since every FPS I've played. It keeps going, though. With 3+ kills, it's faster than Outlaw. So 3+ kills, faster than Outlaw. 4+ kills is the fastest reload in the game, except Alloy Mag. So right now, 3 kills and 4 kills, this is where you're getting into your PvE world. You're going to be able to reload real fast. That means higher DPS or putting down more ads quicker. Max possible reload duration scale from 0.83 to 0.8. Max possible reload stat unchanged at plus 100. So this one has the plus 100 reload stat. And the only thing that sounds like it's better than that is the Alloy Mag. Rapid Hit gave a huge amount of reload and stability for very little work, front loaded onto the first precision hit. We have updated it so it will still feel good, but isn't quite as powerful. Now, I like part of the change that we're going to get into here with Rapid Hit. I think part of it is good, and then there are other parts I'm like, I don't know. We're going to have to see how Rapid Hit feels when it comes out. All right, so they have adjusted the stacking bonus to give less benefit for the first hit and more with subsequent hits. I think this part of the change is really good and is going to be beneficial. It makes it a little bit more skill gap with this perk. That first hit isn't going to be giving you all that stability, all that power from that perk. You need to continue to hit headshots, crit shots, so that you get the benefit from this perk. I think this is a good thing. Max possible reload stat from plus 100 to plus 60. Max possible reload duration scale from 0.8 to 0.925. Max possible stability stat from plus 50 to plus 25. This is where I get a little concerned with this perk. Are they nerfing it a little bit too much? I understand not the first hit giving you all this, but maybe they could have left this perk alone. After that, I'm not sure. I mean, they're testing this internally. Hopefully this perk still feels good and it just doesn't drop completely out of the meta. Drop Mag, situationally really powerful without a massive drawback, as good as a perk but in a magazine column. So hey, basically as good as any perk like Rapid Hit or Feeding Frenzy, but it's in your magazine column. Reload duration scale from 0.85 to 0.9. This brings it in line with Outlaw, which I think is the right call. Field Prep, unchanged, but for reference, reload stat plus 50, reload duration scale 0.8. They're just giving you an understanding of how Field Prep is going to fit into the Sandbox. Alloy Mag, unchanged, but to reference, reload empty duration scale 0.6666. So they're showing you there that Alloy Mag is the best by far. We'll have to see Feeding Frenzy plus 5 compared to Alloy Mag. I don't know how those are going to stack up, but I think there's not going to be much difference between the two. I know that we talked about why Bungie wants to do sunsetting in our last video, and I agree with sunsetting to a certain extent, and I believe it was to make weapons better. Not necessarily overall, but give us more, like they said, like the Recluse for PvE and things like this. Not necessarily for PvP. That needs to be a little calmer. This change just seems like they're either preparing for better perks that they really want us to go after, or this just seems like a negative way to go with sunsetting. Like, I don't see these perks as completely breaking the meta right now. And really needed to be addressed. The only one that I really liked was the Rapid Hit, maybe not the first bullet doing the full effect of that perk. But we'll have to give Bungie the benefit of the doubt right now, or some of us will, some probably won't. Until we see what that new sandbox is and what this is really doing, we don't really know. Additionally, we are fixing issues where perks that grant partial weapon ammo did not respect shot counts for burst weapons. This means that these perks will not work correctly on pulse rifles, fusion rifles, and burst sidearms. So these perks will be more common on those weapon archetypes in the future. So they're fixing perks For some of our weapons that really weren't using the perks, or they didn't have them on there because they didn't really work with the weapons, this is good. That gives us a more robust perk pool for those weapons. And some of these perks are really good, and we would like to have them. Slideways, Slide Shot, Ambitious Assassin, Substance, Overflow, Lead from Gold, and Clown Cartridge. I used Lead for Gold just recently for Fellwinter's Light Quest because I was putting on Tractor Cannon and I had a CQC-12 shotgun with Lead for Gold. Had a couple of mods to make sure I was getting heavy and special ammo to drop, and it worked great. I liked Lead for Gold for that purpose. It was really good for grinding. Some of these other ones could be used for a lot more. Slide Shot's really good on shotguns. People like them on hand cannons. So, I mean, adding them to burst sidearms, I think is going to be awesome. I don't know about pulse rifles. We'll have to see. Clown Cartridge, though, on pulse rifles might be really strong. So, interesting. I'm glad that they're doing this. General perk returning. With opening up space by adjusting reload perks, we also return some other underused perks based on our internal testing and perk popularity and effectiveness data from our internal analytics. All right, so we're going to get some other perks that they really do, and I think most of these changes are going to be really good. Some of them I don't quite understand how well they're going to do yet because they don't really give us some metrics, kind of like Sneak Bow, and we'll get into that. But some I think are going to be really strong. I already use some of these myself on weapons I currently have that I like a lot. So let's get into it. Dynamic Sway Reduction adds 10 stability over time in addition to actually. This is way more powerful than it sounds. So they're already giving us something that sounds way more powerful, but they reduce reticle movement from stability should now tell players this is working. So now you're going to get more of a visual cue that this is working. I already have this on a summoner, and I have it on my Hammerhead machine gun. Both perform excellent with this perk. Now it's going to give a little bit less reticle movement, which I think is going to help improve your aim, and then you're definitely going to notice this perk is working. This is a good change. Pulse Monitor, take critical damage, and you can quickly switch to your now fully loaded shotgun. Reload amount from 0.35 to 1.0, plus 50 to handling, 5% faster swap speed. This works on stowed weapons too, which was already the case, but makes it a lot more useful. This is going to be Celerity Light. Pulse Monitor sounds to me like Celerity Light. If you don't get quick draw on your shotgun and you happen to get Pulse Monitor, maybe it's good in a situation in Trials of Osiris where you are almost being eliminated and you happen to pull your shotgun in time and then get the kill because you had Pulse Monitor. So I think Pulse Monitor in certain game modes and in certain things is actually going to go up a few echelons with this change. Hip Fire Grip now helps you hit shots closer to ADS range. Still doesn't affect damage drop off or magnetism. And they go into what that means. That's 1.2 times aim assist fall off, a plus 15 aim assist, plus 1.7 degrees precision hip fire angle threshold. By default, when hip firing the weapon, the center of your reticle must be over the target in order to get a crit. Otherwise, aim assist will give you a body shot. This change gives you leniency, so if the center of your reticle is not directly over a target, you will still get the crit if you're within this angle. Has no effect on sniper rifles. I think this is a good change. I never really cared too much about hip fire grip. I know that some people can use them on sniper rifles and be pretty nutty. I am glad that this change is not affecting sniper rifles because I do not want to be shot down by somebody using hip fire across the map by a sniper rifle. That's just going to make whatever sniper rifle that's on way too OP, and that's just going to get nerfed. So I think this is a good change. We're going to have to see it in practice to really get a feel for it. Sneak Bow actually makes you sneaky now. Stealth buff now doesn't ping radar when shooting. This sounds nutty to me. Bows are not in the meta whatsoever, but now Sneak Bow might make it in the meta. You're in a Grandmaster Nightfall and you need to go off the radar for some reason and have something. I don't know how this is going to work. I don't know if it's going to affect PvE or is it going to affect PvP only? Do you only go off the radar in PvP when you pull this? Which also makes it a really powerful perk, but then it also kind of makes it a one-sided perk. I'm hoping that it kind of gives you a sneaky feeling in PvE and PvP, and that'll make bows pretty interesting way to kind of get around the map and hide from your enemy. All right, then they go into some new perks. Next season, we will have new perks rolling exclusively on Season of Redacted weapons right now. They're still calling it Season of Redacted because we don't know the name yet. Additionally, Iron Banner will be receiving 2 new perks on 2 reprised weapons. In future seasons, these perks will begin to roll on other weapons. So we're getting 2 new perks on Iron Banner weapons in the season, but those perks will eventually come to other weapons, so that's interesting. Hopefully they're really good perks that we'll get more utility out of. While we don't want to spoil the fun of discovering and testing new perks, we will leave you with the names of upcoming Iron Banner perks: Iron Grip and Iron Gaze. We are excited to see the community break these perks down when the new season begins. I'm excited too. I love new perks. I love new things. I want to go chase. Give me something to chase. This sounds awesome. Upcoming archetype buffs. Next season, we are taking a quick pass on a few weapon archetypes that have been underperforming. All right, so they are going into several things. I think most of these changes are going to be awesome. Slug shotguns are getting a PvE damage buff of plus 30%. Awesome. That good change. High impact pulse rifles are underused in Crucible. While they have a very fast optimal TTK, that TTK was very hard to achieve, so we decided to soften that a little. High impact pulse rifle damage per bullet from 2-1 to 2-2. This changes it from 6 crits to 5 crits, 1 body to kill a guardian in PvP at most resilience values. This is just going to make those weapons feel so much better, and we're going to talk about other things down there when they get to the auto rifles, but you either need to lower the TTK on some of these weapon archetypes, or you need to make them a little bit more forgiving in the Crucible. Right now, there are weapons that have a low TTK, but they're not forgiving, and this is one of them. You miss those 6 crits, and you're probably going to lose that fight. You hit those 6 crits, you might win, but with so much flinch in the game, there's no guarantee that you're hitting those 6, so making it at least 1 body, I think, is a good change. We'll see how that actually feels. That might not sound like a lot, but I think it's going to be a pretty good change. Bow damage is going up because they're underused in challenging content. They're going to put a plus 10% versus minors. That way, you know, if you're shooting a red enemy, hopefully you just kill them in 1 hit if you get a crit shot instead of just leaving them with very low health. Future archetype updates. We've been evaluating feedback in our analysis data, and while we're not done yet, we wanted to touch on 3 community pain points. Our current goal is to touch on these in Season 12, but we'll be sure to let you know if plans change. Now they're talking, this is Season 12. We are in Season 10. We're about to go into Season 11. This is all the way in Season 12, and then there's possibility that this could change because they mentioned that here. Sniper rifles. Community feedback has been that Revoker and Beloved dominate, and looking at analysis, they account for 86% of sniper rifle usage in the Crucible. And if we include other low zoom sniper rifles, this number gets even higher. We're specifically looking at how zoom translates into ease of use of sniper rifles. We're investigating changes that make choosing a sniper rifle zoom more of an interesting choice. I am concerned about this, and my concern is this. Low zoom sniper rifles are used mostly in the Crucible because it's easier in most of the maps that we have to use a low zoom sniper rifle. If anybody is rushing you, the only way to really gun them down effectively is with a low zoom sniper rifle, or to use any kind of sniper rifle as to be more aggressive with sniper rifles in general. So I'm really intrigued what they're gonna do here. I'm hoping that they're looking at more of the longer zooms, how to make them a little bit more effective, and kind of leaving the shorter zooms alone. That way they're bringing the longer zoom scopes up in line with the short zooms some way, somehow. I really hope they don't mess with zoom magnification on short zoom scopes. I think that's going to cause a lot of sniper rifles to be put in the vault. And then already in PvE, most people are not using sniper rifles because they got re-nerfed in Season 10. And now we're back to where most people are not going to use them in PvE because they're just not the go-to weapon. There might not be the go-to weapon in Crucible if they do the wrong things here. We're just going to have to find out. Hand cannons. We're evaluating the hand cannon subfamilies, and as an example, we're breaking out aggressive hand cannons to let us tune their range independently of others. This is good. This is what they should be doing. A weapon either needs to have a larger range stat, a little bit ease of use when it comes to TTK, or a lower TTK. That's good what they're doing here with the aggressive hand cannons. Let's see what they do. Adaptive auto rifles. Auto rifles in general are highly represented in the Crucible, but generally feel balanced. Adaptive auto rifles are a little higher, so we're looking at them. We're not rolling back the Season 10 buff, but we are adjusting the tuning a little to give other auto rifle subfamilies a chance to shine. This is good. They should not pull that buff back. I think 600 autos are where they should be. I know some people don't believe that. Some people believe that auto rifles are spam weapons. They shouldn't be part of the meta. I think they should. I think 600s are in a great spot. I think that they need to just tune the other ones to bring them up. Like I said, with other things, a little ease on the TTK. Do I need as many headshots, or can I have a little bit less body shots? Or lower the TTK a little bit. So I'm excited for these changes because there's a lot of other auto rifles like Halfdan. That's a really good auto rifle that I'd like to see used. But also we're going to have to deal with sunsetting, so we're just going to have to see what they produce going forward. Moving forward, we plan to make more regular weapon balance changes. We'll have more to share on cadence and scope later. So they're going to give us some more later. Hopefully they go into sniper rifles for PvE. I think that needs to be relooked at. Scout rifles, we didn't hear anything about scout rifles, and I don't think they're in the best place ever. Some of them are okay. Jade Rabbit, I think's okay. You get flinched out too much when you're using Jade Rabbit. And they don't talk about rocket launchers here. And I think rocket launchers haven't been in a good spot in a while. So hopefully we'll get some more conversations later. They say they're going to do that. All right, and then the last few things here in the TWAB, they talk about the hotfix that fixed the lie quest. We talked about that earlier in the video. And then they talked about items leaving at the end of the season. As of Season of the Worthy approaches, several items will be removed from Destiny 2 on June 9th, 2020 at the weekly reset. Some of these items leaving at the end of the season include access to the Seraph bunkers on the EDZ, Moon, and Io, Warmine bits, 4th Horseman exotic quest, the Lie quest, legendary lost sectors, and the Warmine seasonal artifact. And then they have a click there for a comprehensive list of items. It is important that you understand that the 4th Horseman quest and the Lie quest are going away because, one, I don't know how Xur's inventory is going to be updated. I don't think the 4th Horseman is going to be there for a while. You could be almost a year out if you do not get it now to getting the 4th Horseman. I know that's FOMO and Bungie's trying to go away from that, but I think we're still kind of stuck in that model right now. The Lie quest, right now you get Fellwinter's Lie out of the Lie quest. It is an excellent aggressive frame shotgun that has multitude of perks that most people want on their shotguns, and it comes fully masterwork. I don't know that that ever comes back in that form or fashion. You might get Fellwinter's Lie later on out of something else, but it doesn't have all the perks or things it has on it now. I highly recommend you go get the Lie quest done. That's going to do it for our talk on the TWAB today. Let me know down in the comments section how you feel about these changes. I still am kind of iffy about the reload changes. I'm worried about the sniper changes, but everything else sounds great. They're looking at the different archetypes that are underused, the perks that are not reload perks that they're kind of looking and adjusting. I think those are going to be awesome things to take a look at in the future. But let me know what you think. If you're new to the channel and you want to be here for more, please subscribe. If you liked the video and it helped you out or helped explain some things to you, please hit the like button. And if you want to be here for any time we put a video up, hit the notification bell. We also stream on YouTube Wednesday through Friday, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Come hang out. We're having a good time. We usually play Destiny 2, Call of Duty, and Assassin's Creed Odyssey. That's probably our main game right now because we're having so much fun in it. Thanks for coming and hanging out with me during this video, and stay safe out there in that crazy world, my friends. Goodbye.